Good morning, or good afternoon. Today we're going to do a grammar day, which I know you all love. Now, there's not much grammar in the book in this section. There's not much grammar in this book at all. It's pretty bad. If you turn to page 181, those of you that have got it, if not, it's up here on the screen. We've covered active and passive voice. We've got connectors of comparison and contrast. I think we've done connectors to death, so I think I'm going to leave that one alone. We've got the simple past tense, but it really covers on what we've done before and very recently, what was in the exam. We probably will go over it, but only as a quick review. And then we've got verbs and verb phrases, and that's what we're going to do today. So if you go to page 181, the quick review section, and it is quite a quick review, there's not much on it, and it's not very well explained. So verbs and verb phrases. Verbs and verb phrases are widely used in explanations to refer to events that happened at various points in time, obviously. Using verbs and verb phrases will help to make an explanation clear so that the reader will understand it more easily. I think that's true of pretty much any grammar point. They all exist to make the sentences work or to add clarity in some way. So it's not like this is designed in some special way to add clarity. They all do that. Verbs provide the action in the sentence. So obviously you all know that a verb is the action word. So you've got the noun is the thing, the verb is what the thing does. All complete sentences must have a verb. Verbs cannot consist of single words or groups of words. So it can consist. All sentences must have a verb. We know that. Every sentence must have two things, a subject and a verb, as well as a capital letter or a full stop for those of you that are thinking, I know better than the teacher. You probably do. Have a look at some examples. Mammoths were long-tusked, hairy members of the elephant family. So they were. So some verbs are a state of being. So that one's a state of being. It was, it were, it was, it is, I am. They're states of being. The monsters were being found in the tundra. So that's a verb phrase. Verbs that are made up of more than one word are verb phrases. So it's a group of words doing the job of a verb, which is the same sort of thing we've covered over and over again in different grammatical points. A verb phrase can consist of an auxiliary verb and the main verb. And that's the most usual kind, and that's the one we're going to focus on. A verb consists of an auxiliary verb and a main verb. Now, auxiliary or a helper verb such as could or can, and the main verb such as walk. I can walk. So that's our verb phrase, can walk. The two words together make up the single verb. We always have the auxiliary and followed by the main verb. For example, the mammoths had fallen into rivers. So had is our helper verb or auxiliary verb, and the main verb is fallen. Note that adverbs can separate the auxiliary verb from the main verb. For example, other long extinct animals have also been found. So we have the adverb also separating out the two parts. Compound verbs are joined with and. For example, there the carcass would freeze and be preserved. Some verbs need to be followed by a preposition so that the verb would make sense in the sentence. For example, many of the animals were still standing up. Yeah, I guess that would have to make perfect sense. So, not very well explained. We are going to now have to go over it all over again and make sure that it's clear. I think the ones we're going to focus on today are the very simple ones. I want to give you an example of all of them so that you know what exists and how they work. But the ones that we're going to focus on are the auxiliary verb followed by the primary verb, the main verb. Those are the ones that you're going to be dealing with most of all, and that's the one we're going to be using today. Okay, so watch the video and then do the quiz, and there's some review material as well.